Today, we're diving into the incredible story of the Somnath Temple. And this is more than just a story about a sacred building. It's a powerful tale of endurance, a shrine that has been torn down and reborn from its ashes again and again.
So that brings us to this big question. What actually makes a shrine eternal? Is it the stones and the gold? Or is it something else? Something in the spirit of the people who refuse to let it die? The history of Somnath, well, it gives us a pretty powerful answer.
To really get a grip on Somnath's unbelievable resilience, we have to go all the way back to the beginning, to its sacred origins. See, this isn't just any old temple. In Hindu mythology, it's revered as the very first of its kind.
So what in the world is a Jyotirlinga? Well, the name literally means pillar of light. And in Hinduism, these are 12 incredibly sacred spots where Lord Shiva is believed to have appeared as a column of pure, infinite light. Somnath has the unique distinction of being considered the very first one.
You know, the name itself tells a huge part of the story. Somnath means Lord of the Moon, and the legend goes that the temple was first built by Som, the moon god himself, as a way to thank Lord Shiva for curing him of a terrible curse. So right from its very inception, it's steeped in divine power. And we're talking truly ancient here. This place gets mentioned in some of Hinduism's most sacred texts, like the Rig Veda. This isn't just history. It's a legacy woven deep into the cultural fabric of the subcontinent. But, as you can imagine, that kind of glory, it didn't go unnoticed. And this is where the story takes a really dramatic turn. We get into this relentless cycle of destruction and absolute defiance. For centuries, the temple's legendary fame and unbelievable wealth basically put a giant bullseye on its back. Just try to picture its original splendor for a second. We're talking about an inner sanctum studded with priceless gems, holy water brought all the way from Haridwar, and fresh flowers arriving from Kashmir. This immense wealth and sacredness made it a beacon of faith, but it also attracted some truly brutal forces who wanted to extinguish that very light. And look, this wasn't just a one-off event. Over almost 1,000 years, the temple was targeted again and again and again. The attacks were relentless, starting with the raid by El-Junayd in the 8th century, then the infamous invasion by Mahmud of Ghazni, and later by Khilji's army and Aurangzeb. It was a clear, systematic pattern of destruction. The human cost, it's just staggering. During Mahmud of Ghazni's raid alone, it's estimated that 50,000 devotees were killed trying to protect their shrine. Just let that number sink in. It shows you the sheer brutality of these invasions. But even that couldn't break the temple's spirit. But this is the most powerful chapter of the story. Because for every single act of destruction, there was an equally powerful act of creation. This is where we see Somnath's true legacy, a legacy of pure resilience. Almost as soon as the dust settled from one attack, the rebuilding would begin. After the raid in 725, King Nagabata II rebuilt it. After Ghazni's attack, King Boja and King Bhimdev I led the charge. You see the pattern here, right? This cycle of defiance and rebirth went on for centuries, a true testament to an absolutely unbreakable spirit. This powerful idea, this whole theme, was captured perfectly by India's first president, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, when he was inaugurating the modern temple. He said, "The power of creation is always greater than the power of destruction." I mean, that just sums up the entire story of Somnath, doesn't it? The final reconstruction, which happened after India's independence, was a massive national effort. It all started with a vow by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the country's first home minister. It was rebuilt in the grand, traditional Chalukya style of architecture and was finally dedicated to the nation in 1955, rising one last time as a symbol for a new era. So, after all that struggle, what became of this eternal shrine? Well, today, a magnificent structure stands in its place, a true beacon of faith and resilience for millions of people. And the temple you'll see today is just an architectural marvel. It's set right against the backdrop of the vast Arabian Sea. Its walls are covered in these incredibly intricate carvings, the doorways are adorned with massive silver doors, and its main spire, the Shikhar, towers 50 meters into the sky. It's a breathtaking sight that really embodies both ancient tradition and that modern spirit of reconstruction. So, if you're inspired to visit, and you totally should be,
The temple welcomes pilgrims from early in the morning till late at night. And in the evenings, there's a light and sound show that brings its whole dramatic history to life, right there against the backdrop of the ocean. It's something else.
And you know, the spiritual energy of this area doesn't just stop at the temple walls. Right nearby, you have Bulka Tirth and Golokdam Tirth. These are sacred sites that mark the final moments of Lord Krishna's time on Earth, making this whole region a major pilgrimage destination. And so we end up right back where we started. The story of Somnath is, at its heart, a story of survival against all odds. It leaves us with a really deep question. What is true resilience? Is it found in the stones and mortar we use to rebuild? Or is it found in a faith so powerful it can never, ever truly be destroyed? That, I think, is the eternal lesson of Somnath.